All right.
Why do you think land trusts are such a good fit with wholesaling? Because wholesaling is really hot right now. You've got all these big hedge funds buying, obscene amounts of properties every month. So there's such a market for just wholesaling to these big guys. What and to other people, not just the big guys. Why is land trust such a good fit with a wholesaling business?
Well, for a lot of reasons, I think all real estate investors need to learn how to be more private in their business transactions. And that is not only um, a good thing to do in everything in life, is to be more private with your personal information, but to also uh, not have other real estate investors know what you're doing and how you're doing it.
So it comes
Uh,
back to the same old thing. Privacy is like number one. Not only not people not knowing what you own to try to sue you with contingency fee lawyers, but also so that other investors aren't tracking you and kind of how you're doing your business, how you're conducting yourself.
Control everything,
Right.
and you have the
But
profits
but
fall in
if
your
you're
pocket.
wholesaling, you're not even ever taking title. Like if you're just getting something under contract and then you're flipping the contract, it's not really relevant in that particular situation.
Well, it depends. Ideally, yes, but you and I both know that oftentimes you go into a deal thinking you're going to be able to wholesale it, and you end up not because for a couple of reasons. One is maybe you just didn't find anybody in time, and you had to go
So
ahead
you
and
have to
close the
close. You
contract.
thought you were going to flip it, but you end up having to close and then take your time to find the next buyer.
Right. Those buyers just don't show up in the time frame that you always want them to. So be prepared for the fact that you may not be able to. You may have to close the contract and then sell it off to somebody else. But you know, in further explanation of what you're saying, let's assume that you do find someone to uh, another investor to come in and buy that wholesale deal from you. It's a much easier transaction if you just sell him the beneficial interest to the land trust. You've
Right.
taken the
So instead of
contract in the
selling
name
him
of.
the deed to the property and transferring title, again, you just sell him the beneficial interest in the trust that you created to hold title to the property.
Right.
I think, from my opinion, when you met Cliff Gager, that to me it sounded to me like that was the thing that excited him the most is that the ease of transferability, not only the privacy, but how easy it was to transfer. Maybe you're not worrying about some of the flipping rules. I think they extended the waiver. I'm not sure about that for real estate investors. But that seemed to be a really slam dunk fit for him. He's been teaching for years. He's been teaching people for years as a really high paid educator and one on one mentor about the wholesaling.
Right.
He's taking people and sitting with them and taking him from doing nothing to knowing how to make several $1,000s a month. It's pretty amazing. I think he should come sit with me for a while.
Well,
Maybe I should go visit him at his house, have a little chat.
well, we should let's point out, Don, that Cliff is the guy who's teaching the wholesaling class in our 3-day event. We haven't mentioned that yet, so for those people watching, the reason why you brought up Cliff is that he is going to teach the first day of our 3-day event. Cliff has been for years all over the United States. He still teaches classes. So I feel very fortunate that we're going to have him part of our
Right.
trio.
And so
Because this is going to be
yeah,
a
I mean,
very,
it's
very
such a good thing because you
event.
and I had a good fit back in October. You and he do really well together. And we thought if we bring in, get the property, protect it, and then sell on a contract or on a beneficial interest. You could use owner financing, or you could find the paper, put it in a land trust, sell it. I mean, there's all sorts of things where I think between the three of us, there's everything's kind of covered between acquiring property and flipping it, buy and hold property, or buy and hold paper.
Yeah, let me give you an example here. I've had wholesale transactions where the wholesale buyer said, I'd really love to do this deal, but I've only got X amount of cash, and maybe I'm asking for 20,000, and he's only got 15. Well, I'm probably going to take that 15 and a note for 5,000 from him. Whether that's an unsecured note or secured, those are different issues. But I'm not going to turn down a good deal with a high profit in it just because there's a $5,000 note involved. We've got the first day of our 3-day event will be Cliff and his wholesaling techniques. Then the second day will be me, and the third day will be you. So I see the land trust as a sandwich in between him and you, to make the glue that makes all this happen in a private, confidential,
Yeah,
asset
you're
protected way.
the white gooey stuff in the Oreo cookie,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, well, very good.